Another way we can categorize characters is according to degree of development. So when we talk about how well a character is developed, what we mean is how well does that character represent a full personality, right? Everyone you know is a full personality, has many character traits. And character traits are distinguishing qualities, attitudes, behaviors, or characteristics displayed by a character, right? So in the real world, we are all fully developed characters with fully developed personalities, right? We don't just um, represent one or two ideas or think one or two things. We're very complex. But in fiction, sometimes we have characters that are flat. And novelist E.M. Forster distinguished between flat and round characters. So he called a flat character one that is constructed around a single idea or quality. These characters are one-dimensional. They tend to exhibit only one or two character traits. They generally play minor roles in fiction since their personalities aren't fully developed. And a special type of flat character is a stock character. And stock characters are those who are immediately recognizable because they appear so often in several different works. They're usually based on stereotypes. Examples might be the cruel stepmother, right? Once a character is set up as the cruel stepmother, then we automatically know, based on stereotypes, how that character is going to act. Another one is the gay best friend from romantic comedies. So anytime or most times, if there is a leading lady in a romantic comedy film, I'm thinking the films of like Julia Roberts, early films of Julia Roberts. There's usually a gay best friend character, right, who is like the sassy gay friend, right? If there's a cop drama, buddy cop drama, where there are two partners, there's usually an angry police captain, right, that they have to answer to, or that throws them off the case, right? Um, so, according to Roberts and Jacobs, stock characters are representative of their group rather than representing fully developed individual characters. They basically have the traits that we all identify with whatever group they belong to. And they stay flat as long as they do no more than perform their roles and exhibit conventional and individual traits. On the other hand, round characters are more fully developed. These characters are complex and embody many different character traits. According to Daniel and Saphir, readers come to appreciate round characters' complexity as if they were actual persons. Major or central characters tend to be round. And sometimes, if a character is really well developed and really well presented by an author, we sort of, as readers, sort of feel for that character, right? And we are concerned with them and we think about them. And even though they're fictional characters, we sort of are worried about what's going to happen to them, right? It's because the author has made them so real to us. And the last way that we're going to talk about for categorizing characters is based on whether they experience a change. Static characters do not experience a change during the course of the narrative. These characters are often, though not always, minor characters. They have the same personality, display the same attitude, or have the same values at the end of the story as they did at the beginning. Now, static characters can be round. They can be complex. They just have not experienced a change. They start the story out one way and they end the story the same way, even though they may be complex characters. A dynamic character, on the other hand, does experience a change in personality or attitude or values. So they begin the story thinking, acting, valuing one way or one thing, and they end the story believing and acting a different way and or having different values. Often the change a dynamic character undergoes contributes to some meaning to the narrative, right? Let's think about the Disney phenomenon that was Frozen, right? We've already had a second movie since I created this PowerPoint a few years ago. Olaf is a static character. He is the same fun-loving and childlike snowman at the end of the film that he was when Anna and Kristoff first meet him. Elsa, however, is a dynamic character, right? She is, at first, afraid of her powers, and she tries to hide her true nature from her sister in the world. But by the end of the story, she has come to terms with her power, is not afraid any longer, and is able to reverse the eternal winter she cast over the kingdom. Another example of a dynamic character is probably the most famous dynamic character in history, and that's Ebenezer Scrooge, right? He certainly has a change of heart during his story.